So I've got a product review for you guys today, specifically the Morakniv Heavy Duty MG. Why does that sound familiar? Well, it's because I've already got one. You guys have seen it before. It plays part of my two Mora setup, the Heavy Duty MG and the Robust. This one's brand new, so I'm going to show it off. Now, I haven't used this one at all since receiving it. So I'm going to put it through its paces so that you can, see what it can do. Then I'm going to talk about it a little bit. First off, let's do a little carving. Maybe some feather sticking. Kind of feel bad using the brand new one. It's still so pristine. I haven't even stropped it or anything. But the thing is, anyone who's done a lot of bushcraft over the last little while, or even just read a whole bunch of forums or watched a bunch of YouTubes, knows that these things come pretty damn sharp out of the box. So let's test it. There you go, with no pressure at all. Okay, there was a little bit of pressure. There's a bit more. If you can make really thin feathers, then you know you've got a good knife. Here, take a look at that. Let's do a little batoning. You know my story about batoning. I don't love doing it with a knife, but it's a knife test here, folks. A lot of people don't like batoning with the Moras because they're not full tang and they're not going to be the most robust of choices. But, if I break it, then it's a review, right? To a large extent, I almost find that batoning is a lousy method for reviewing a knife, because it's getting harder to find knives that aren't made with really good steel, especially when you're, especially if you're throwing the money after something custom. And at the end of the day, the strength in these knives lies in the Scandi grind, right? I love Scandi. I've never made, any bones about it. I've never hidden it. A lot of people do like Scandi. I find it's a very strong grind. It gives a lot of structural strength to the knife. It's also very easy to sharpen, right? You find the angle, and you're done. Let's try a little chopping. But to a certain extent, I almost feel that you can really only know how good a knife is after a year or two of use. Or any tool, actually, which is why I want to do my reviews in two phases. One off the bat, and one a couple of years later, or a couple of months. Now, one thing you're not going to get with the Heavy Duty MG, it's not a 90-degree spine. Because I carry a Mora as a backup knife for in case something happens to my main bushcrafty, my main beauty, who I'm going to show on screen again, just because I can. But yeah, because the Mora for me is generally a backup knife, it's not full tang, I haven't really addressed that, but I probably should. And in fact, for anyone who's looking at just an affordable way to get into the bush with a good knife, Mora is definitely the way to go. But then you definitely do want to 90-degree that spine. So if that's the way you want to go, then I invite you to watch the excellent Black Owl Outdoors video on putting a 90-degree spine on your Mora knife with a file. I'm going to link to it right there. Interesting thing about the Heavy Duty MG is that it's basically your straight up Mora with a slightly thicker piece of steel. It makes an interesting companion to my Robust, because the thing about the Robust is that it's a completely different look, right? The spine is not ground at all. It's a very unique blade shape for Mora. This has the newer handle, which I like a lot. The knife that Mora sent me is just, it's the old style. I'm unsure if they're bringing out a new version of this with the new handle. I don't know. With the new handle and sheath. It's hard to give a Mora a bad review, because at the end of the day, for the price you pay, they're fabulous across the board. You will not find a bad Mora, especially for the price in the bushcraft line. So if you ask me if I like this knife, yeah, I sure do. They're cheap as chips, and they're great as a backup knife. You can even use them as a main knife. If it breaks, it wasn't like a lot of money. Look, you do have to be prepared for the possibility of breakage when you use a Mora as your main bushcraft blade. It's not a full tang. It goes to about there. I think it's about 3/4, which a lot of sort of Scandinavian knives are, right? A lot of the Helles are like that as well. But for the amount of money you're spending on this, buy two, throw them both in your bag. You use one as your main, keep one as a backup. 90-degree the spine, so you can, use a ferro rod. And for the amount of money that you've spent, you're laughing. For the amount of money that I spent on my Woodlore clone, I could have bought a box of these. That's a little bombastic, but you know what I'm saying. You can buy a lot of Moras. You can go through. Look, I don't like the idea of a disposable blade. I'm not backing this as that kind of concept. What I'm saying though is, especially if you're looking to get into bushcraft, you want a good blade. You don't want to throw a lot of money around, A, because maybe you're not sure if bushcraft really is for you, so you're trying it out, or B, you're young or you don't have a great job. Money is an object. Mora, it's a great buy. I tend not to be a big fan of the non-robust or heavy-duty Mora knives for what I like to do, but it's not a lot more money for a stronger Mora. So, if you ask me Mora sent me this, okay, let's be, I didn't buy this one, but I have bought one and I like it, and I would buy it again. So you know what? Maybe I'll send this one to someone. It's open to anyone. If you want this, be a subscriber or subscribe if you're not already. Comment below on what your favorite low-priced bushcraft tool is, and like and share this video. So that's 4 things. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Like and share, 2 things. Can I do that again? So that's 4 things. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, then 3 things. Like, share the video, and comment below on your favorite low-cost bushcraft tool. So that's about it. If you like what I'm doing, like, subscribe, comment, share if you can, give me a smiley thumb. If you don't like what I'm doing, give me a frowny thumb. That's about it. Thanks for watching, guys.